Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, today we're taking a look at the Publisher Conduct Guidelines from December 12th, 2022. That's kind of, timing is interesting, right, folks? Because that's right before the OGL leaked, right? The OGL 1.1 leak happened, where there was an implied threat that all OGL material might have to go poof, bye bye. So, and why is the publisher conduct guidelines coming up? The publisher guidelines are coming up because of the banning of the Red Room. Now, there's a couple of things involved in this whole thing. I don't think it's quite as cut and dry as some folks claim it is or feel it is. Um, just so you know, there will be a follow up video. I did something, God knows. I spent my $15 at Big Geek Emporium to buy men. And yeah, that's a whole video unto itself. It'll be a review of sorts. So, but why is this publisher conduct guidelines important? Because they quoted these guidelines, they, meaning OneBookShelf, drive-through/roll20, when they banned Miguel's Red Room as a publisher from drive-through. And they hit upon a couple of things within these guidelines. Okay. So let's see. The quality and content of your titles and cover images directly affects the quality of our store and our customer shopping experiences. Now, they didn't directly quote that, but that could be part of the reason why the title Men was removed. That could certainly fall into that. Let's see. Trade dress, front page flooding, no. Reviews, no. Treatment of staff. Well, they certainly said that Miguel was aggressive, borderline, or bordering on abusive. And I did send an email to drive through. It's the holiday weekend. I don't know when it'll get read. But treatment of staff. We do not expect our staff to deal with publisher clients who demonstrate abusive or threatening behavior, whether personal or professional, either in business communications or on social media. We consider any of the following behaviors to be grounds for immediate closure of a publisher account. Threats of physical harm or violence. I don't believe that Miguel did any of that. They didn't mention that in the email to him. Threats to disseminate or share anyone's personal information on the internet. I do not believe that's to be any part of it. Threats or derogatory comments that are homophobic, sexist, or involving other forms of discrimination based on a person's protected characteristics. Well, men is certainly sex. It's least of its problems is being sexist, but that wasn't directed at anybody at drive-through, so I don't think that could be why. Inappropriate comments or insults regarding religion, culture, or race. There was no indication to that. He was aggressive, bordering on, but no claim that he was actually abusive. All right, so social media behavior. We know we are not perfect. When we make mistakes, we hope that our publisher clients will bring it to our attention first. Publishers who make derogatory or defamatory statements on social media about OneBookShelf or our staff may be subject to modification or termination of their publisher account. Ouch. Okay, so basically, don't air your dirty laundry about drive-through publicly, or else they can terminate your account. And by the way, I'm just going over the policies here. And somebody sent me a message on Discord that I thought was interesting. So we're going through their policy. Hostile marketing. Now, this was quoted in the email to Miguel. Our policy regarding potentially offensive content. Let me just say this flat out. I've read Men. It is fucking offensive. All right? There's no potential here. Regarding potentially offensive content reported by customers is to deactivate such titles while they're being reviewed. Publishers who deliberately court controversy by making public declarations or accusations of censorship resulting from this process in order to draw attention to their products will be considered to use hostile marketing. Now, again, we're trying to keep this equal, balanced. Miguel, on his own blog or website, did say on the 14th of February, when this went up, that how long will it stay up before it gets banned? That could be interpreted as hostile marketing because he was already making an accusation that it was going to be censored. Again, this is their definition, the definition that you as a publisher are operating under. This could be considered hostile marketing. Publishers who direct or support public accusations of impropriety or censorship toward OneBookshelf when their controversial titles are rejected or removed from our marketplace will also be considered to use hostile marketing. Hostile marketing is a bad thing at drive-thru. You do not do it. However, they highlighted a part. This wasn't me highlighting this. This is them highlighting. This behavior will not be tolerated. Now is the highlighted part. We have adopted a strict one warning policy for those who engage in hostile marketing. Again, they quoted the hostile marketing. They, I believe, quoted the first paragraph and then told him his account was being terminated. Again, saying he was borderline on being abusive. That's a line, right? Again, I'm just, and I'm not taking sides here. I am explaining the situation as I see it, as it's been shown to me. So, we have adopted a strict one warning policy for those who engage in hostile marketing. The first incident will prompt a warning, and after a second incident, their accounts will be removed from our site permanently and immediately. The email that I saw, that we all saw posted on Twitter, did not state that there was, you've been warned once prior, so now we are, no, they said we've lost patience with you, which I can understand that. But that's not a reason, according to drive-thru, OneBookshelf, Roll20, to terminate your account. Just going from that. So now, let's take this and go a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole. That said, and this is from the message on Discord, I asked permission if I could share this. I am not going to mention who it was, but that said, the definition of offensive to drive-thru RPG is nebulous at best. Where else was it nebulous? Right? Because they're not saying what offensive content, and you can see product standard guidelines. We're going to go there. Good cover examples, okay. Product preview, okay. Tool, note for AI art, okay. Product content, neither your work, description, or any promotional material, including blog posts or press releases, may contain. Now, this is where we're going to be in that issue, because men checks off many of these boxes, but it's satire. Or satire. Poorly done, in my opinion, but we'll leave that review for later. Neither your work, description, nor any promotional material, including blog posts or press releases, may contain racist, okay, homophobic, discriminatory, or other repugnant views. That's, I think men checks all those boxes. Again, I spent my money, so you don't have to. Overt political agenda or views. I've been accused of censorship because I complained when somebody included ACAB, all cops are bastards, an overt political view on their sales page on drive-thru. It was spelled out that this is an issue, right? You can't do it. Depictions or descriptions of criminal violence against children, okay, rape, yeah, that's in men too, or other acts of criminal perversion, yeah, or other obscene material without the express written permission of OneBookShelf. So really, what they're saying is, hey, if you want to publish something that is offensive, and this was going to be my suggestion, by the way, there should be a policy in place. Apparently, there is. Hey, listen, I want to publish manly men, which is even more offensive than men. And I'd like to submit it for pre-approval first and show you that it's a work of satire and that it is not meant to be taken seriously, and it is meant to offend and amuse. And then they go, all right, you sent it in ahead of time. We've denied it. No harm, no foul, because you sent it ahead of time. It didn't go through this process, right? You followed the actual product conduct process. That could have been a way to avoid all this stuff. But in any case, illegal and infringing content is not allowed. It is the content creator's responsibility to ensure their content does not violate laws, copyright, trademark, privacy, or other rights. And it's also, I'm guessing, the content creator's responsibility to follow the product content guidelines. All right. So, going back to the Discord. That said, the definition of offensive to drive-through RPG is nebulous at best. This policy is exactly the same as Wizards of the Coast morality clause. Well, that is true. Although they actually go a little bit further in description. It's right down to policing behavior of third-party publishers on social media. That's right. Well, you can't complain about drive-through on social media. And this isn't a complaint about drive-through. I am going over their content. I am going over their rules. And I am presenting them and explaining how they apply or don't apply in this case. So the person says again, I have to wonder if these policies were implemented whenever Wizards of the Coast initially began talking to Drive-Thru RPG about their plans for 1D&D and the OGL. Not because of vendor. Wow, go figure that shit out. The timing is certainly very interesting. It makes more sense to me that they would put a hostile marketing policy in place to nix mass criticism of them pulling down OGL material rather than just a single publisher being edgy. Well, I mean, it certainly would make sense. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying the timing is certainly coincidental, certainly lines up. And if they did have to pull everything down, there would have been a lot of angry publishers of all sizes, from pequeño small to large companies like Frog God, Goodman, Kobo Press, Trollord. I'm just throwing out names, right? That would have had their OGL market stifled. There would have been outrage. And maybe they would have used it to say, hey, we've got a 1 week sell-off, and because of these asshole pricks at yada, 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 now's your time to buy. Buy. We effectively had that anyway, right? We had the, oh my God, the OGL is going away, time to back all our favorite third-party publishers. Oh, thank God the OGL is not going away. They still had their best sales month ever, right? We've heard that. So I throw this up as coincidence, synergy. Maybe there's some truth to this. I don't know. But that being said, apparently Drive-Thru does have a policy in place where if you have a product that you know is going to be offensive, you can reach out to them ahead of time and seek express written permission from Drive-Thru. Basically, they're okay to put it behind the mature wall. I'm sure with numerous warnings, but the procedure, which is buried and is not really spelled out, is to pre-submit. They don't even say that. You need express written permission, which means you got to pre-submit it. It'd be nice if Drive-Thru put a policy together for that and put a procedure, maybe even a portal that could do so. And we would avoid things like this mess with men. Again, there will be a review forthcoming, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I may need to be intoxicated to do it. I haven't decided just yet. If I was 13, there are parts of it that I would find very amusing. I am 55. I don't. But that's for later. Folks, as always, oh, wait, there's a new link on the bottom of the screen. How did I forget? Excuse me, tankars-tavern.games/2000 AD. 2000 AD, you ask? Yes, 2000 AD PDF comics. A ton of material, including Slains. If you like fantasy stuff, that's pretty cool. Now, with the Pathfinder bundle, I was telling you that the $5 point was the sweet spot. I think the $18 is the sweet spot. I think you got like 34, 35 titles. They're all look pretty good. And if you read comics and don't want to spend out your ass to buy them, this is a great way to get some reading material for your tablet or your computer screen. Folks, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. I will be back at some point with Men, the review, so you don't have to. All right, folks. Later.